So you may find when you're working on these things that you have certain dead notes, certain things that just don't sound right. A good way to determine this is to record yourself. Once you feel like you've got the piece sort of happening, record it and then have a listen, and you'll hear if there's some notes that just aren't sounding right. It's probably technique. It's probably the way that you're holding the chord. So go back, review, make sure that you've got the chord sounding the way it's supposed to sound. This is a very common mistake in this problem in this chord. For example, this finger tends to get on top of the D string and take away its sound. So that's the way you want it, as opposed to. So that's just a technique thing. So if you hear those kind of things, when you're playing the piece, go back, review it until you get it right. It's just it's the way that you become a better player. You know, you don't want to be practicing mistakes and playing them over and over. If you hear a mistake, then get back there and fix it before you continue on. Now we're going to I'm going to demonstrate kind of a bluegrass tune. We've already done some stuff that sounds quite bluegrassy, and the true bluegrass aficionados may be laughing at me right now, but this to me sounds like bluegrass, and it's a tune called Brady. And I'll basically play it slow for you first. It goes. Now I'll explain that before I show you the other part. We already learned this picking. So that's the picking that I'm doing, which I've already shown you. One more time, just. Totally having a problem with that, you rewind, reboot, and learn it. It's very simple. And of course, I also showed you that we can alternate between the B and the E string when we do that lick. So first time I'm hitting the B string, second time the E string. Now it's really important that you work hard on this, because when you're trying to do a melody, you want to be able to freely hit whichever one of those strings you need to play the melody. And so in this song, that is illustrated by this. I'll show you what that is. That's just a standard G chord. And then I'm playing the G7 and pulling off my first finger. So it's. Then I'm playing the B string on the 3rd fret with my 4th finger, so it's. I'll show that again. There's that finger doing the bass thing, which I showed you earlier too, and then I'm doing this little turnaround, which is really simple. It's a great way to go from G to C, and I'm basically playing the G note, so that's the first string, the E string on the 3rd fret with my 3rd finger, then an open A string, then the 2nd finger on the 2nd fret on the A string, and then I'm back to the C chord. So, and I'm playing a G with my finger in between those, so I'm going, right? So I'm going to play that much of the song for you and throw that little turnaround in there. So it's. more time. I'll do it one more time. Now, although from this chord to this chord sounds a lot different, but I'm actually playing the exact same thing with my fingers, with my right hand. One more time. Now, there's two other parts to this song. That's the verse part, and then the chorus is basically same picking pattern with my right hand, and I'm playing an F with a 9, which is that's an F7, right? Standard bar chord. I don't need to show you that. And the 9 is where my fourth finger goes on the E string. And then a C, then a G, then the F again. Then a G, then back to the first part. So now I'll put those two together, show you what they sound like. F part. G. And back to the top. Okay, so that's part 1 and part 2. Part 3 is I'm taking this C chord and I'm sliding it up to play what is essentially a D7 chord. So it's the same fingering as the C, except I'm putting my fourth finger on the G string once I get up to the D, which is 2 frets up. So it's... Then I'm sliding the whole thing up 2 more frets and I'm in E7. And this is the bridge part of the song. So it goes... When I get to the E, it changes a bit. The picking pattern changes a bit. I'm plucking 3 strings, so I'm going, which I showed you before. So I'll just re-illustrate. It's thumb, pluck, so it's E string, pluck, A, pluck, D. So E, D, A, D. So the bass is doing this. And I'm plucking in between, which I showed you before. Then I'm going to play this A6 chord, which is similar to the A6-9 chord, which I showed you earlier, but I'm leaving the E string open. So I'm playing the D string at the 5th fret with my first finger, second finger on the G string at the 6th fret, and my third finger on... Actually, I'm using my pinky because it's got one of these. 4th finger, rather, pinky. What's that? And so that's the 7th fret on the B string. So it's... And same picking as I was doing in this. Right? But this time I'm going to... Which is another one of the patterns that I showed you. So that sounds like this. Now, there's another thing I'm throwing in there. That's basically doing the alternating bass with my third finger, 7th fret. Now I'm going to play a D minor 9 chord, which is a beautiful chord. That's it. And what it is I'm on the D string 3rd fret with my first finger. I'm on the A string at the 5th fret with my 2nd finger. And then I'm stacking these two 3rd and 4th finger on the 5th fret on the G and the B string. And that's the same pattern I was playing. So it's... Aha! What's he doing there? I'm alternating the bass. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Same picking pattern. Then I'm going to play this chord, which is it's a G6, but it's got a G sharp bass. So it's a bit of a anticipatory chord, I would call it. It needs to go somewhere. You go to bed, you try to sleep after playing that chord at the end of the day, you'll never sleep. So I'm doing the same picking pattern twice on that, then I'm going to drop that bass down to play just the standard G6 chord. Right, so that's barred, 3rd finger on the G string 4th fret, and my 4th finger on the B string 5th fret. So I'm going from this to this. Now let me show you how that all goes together. Yeah, cool. And you'll notice that to go from this chord to this chord is really basic because these two fingers don't move, right? I'm just sliding both of these guys down one, and then this guy all the way down to the 3rd fret. So from this, so that's how it goes. Let me play that again. All right, so those are our 3 sections. I'm going to play them all in sequence, fairly slow, and then I'll show you what it sounds like sped up, because that's where things get real exciting. So it's... So that's the verse, then the chorus is the F6, remember? And the C, then the G, and the F6, and the G. And back to the A section. Now we're going up to the C section. A6, right? With the pull-off. And then the D minor 9 chord. And the G with the G sharp bass. And G6. Then we're back to the A section. So I'm going to play the whole thing now a little bit faster. And then I'll sing it for you. Back to the top. Okay, now I'm going to play it up to speed and I'm going to sing it. It goes like this. Actually, I like to start this song with that little turnaround I showed you. So it goes. Brady came on a midnight train, left on a wing and a prayer. Every cowboy knew his name, none of them were there. Now Brady's pa was the son of a gun, swore that boy would fail. Brady took all he could take, landed up in jail. The lights are out in the old farmhouse, cows have moved along. Brady flew into a rage till every window was gone. We would follow Brady all around. Was the best thing in this lame town. Brady took the fall when he went down. Generally, I actually like to play that song a bit faster than that, so I'm just going to do it, just the instrumental part. Just keep practicing hard, this is where you'll end up.